I wanted to work for Disney since I was a kid. It was the dream job. It was the one that everybody wanted. My first job was collating 50 press kits a day and getting 6 cappuccinos a day from my boss. Since then, I've been lucky enough to work for Disney around the world. In Paris, Mumbai, Hong Kong, Shanghai. I'm working on projects that were audacious. I love the audacious. Well, the ones you wake up in the morning and you think, can I pull this off? Those are the ones you live for. When we were opening Toy Story Mania, we could have done a normal press event and just opened the attraction, or we could cut a deal with NASA to send Buzz Lightyear up on Space Shuttle Discovery.
Hi, I'm Greg Shamitov, flight engineer for the Expedition 17 mission aboard the International Space Station. And floating here right next to me is one of my crewmates, Buzz Lightyear.
When we brought Michael Phelps back from Beijing, you're like, well, okay, I could take him on a swimming tour, we could go to the YMCAs and we could have characters, or we could build a full-length Olympic swimming pool down Main Street, USA. That makes it exciting. I was invited to be Vice President of Innovation and Creativity and asked the task, if you will, the challenge was how might we increase our capability to innovate? How might we become more flexible, more nimble, quicker to market, and more empathetic in consumer insights? And so we developed something called the Toy Box. It took me about 1.5 years to develop, and it's a creative problem-solving model. It's a design thinking process, but it's easy for people to use. And it's a mixture of creative behaviors and creative toys that enable people to think differently. Is it free with purchase? What is it?
It can be for the purchase. It can be deliverables.
Deliverables.
Oh, I like that.
The workshops, whether they're half-day workshops, full-day workshops, they leave people with not only inspired and motivated, and that's important, but you've got to leave people with, okay, now what do I do with that? And so the more we can actually get into a workshop and really help people understand how to use these tools and make them easy for people to use so they can use them tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to teach you a better way to brainstorm.
There's a lot of big brands out there that aren't going to be around in 5 or 10 years because they can't act as entrepreneurial startups. They're too big. They want innovation, they don't know how to innovate, and nobody's made it tangible for them. And I think that this particular creative problem-solving model makes it tangible. So it's not just, you don't need an innovation creativity department. The moment you do that, you shirk responsibility from everybody else. Innovation and creativity should be in everybody's roles and responsibility. And people were children. They were all creative once, so they can be creative again. Think about imagination and where it has led, where it led Steve Jobs, where it led Isaac Newton, where it led Neil Armstrong. It led Kennedy to say, we will put a man on the moon before the end of this decade. He hadn't got a clue he could do it. It was his imagination, and sure enough, they did. And so I think you have to have a belief that you can do things. And I think that most people believe they can. And it's about giving them something that's tangible that they can use, that enables that imagination, that creativity, those ideas to actually have purpose and be built and actually create something that goes to market and help shift the business at the same time.
Thank you very much for your time.